I started doing worship through dance probably 4 years ago. I'd grown up dancing, like my mom put me in dance when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed it and loved it. And then I'd done worship in church, but I'd never really done them together, like done worship as dance, until I moved back to Colorado. I was living in California, and there was this worship dance team that I saw an ad for, so I auditioned and I got accepted, and it was really awesome, like all these professional dancers who were also Christians intentionally engaging the Lord through their artistry of dance. So that's when I started doing worship as dance. So I feel connected to God through dance in such a deep way. Like, it's the most connected that I feel to God because it's the best way that I know how to express my feelings whenever I have really intense emotions, is either through writing or through dancing. That's like the best way I can like get out what I'm feeling when I can't say it. And since I know God and I know that he dances too, it's like he's dancing with me. So it's like this conversation. So I feel very connected to God through dance. For someone who wants to try worship through dance, I would simply recommend to just do it, just go for it. And that may sound simple and that may sound intimidating, but the truth is, if you want to worship through dance, then you're probably a dancer. Even if you're not a trained dancer, it's something that God's put in you that you just need to let out, and that will come progressively, and it'll look different ways than maybe someone who's been trained in dance, but it's really so beautiful and so freeing. It's even inspiring for me when I see someone who isn't a trained dancer dancing. It's just this different type of beauty. So I would recommend to you, if you want to start learning how to worship through dance, to put on some music in your house where no one's watching and start doing it there, because then you'll get the courage to do it in a more public setting. And especially if there's people that you know that you're comfortable with, to start maybe doing it with them, or if there's a dance group at your church, that's a good way also to get acquainted with it. But just go for it and don't be afraid. As a worship dance leader, I've been asked the question, are you guys dancing for God, or are you dancing for the church? Are you dancing for yourselves? And the answer is really all of them, but mainly I'm dancing for God, and I'm aware that people are watching me because obviously I'm dancing in public, so there is some degree of dancing for the people, but it's as a worship leader, leading them into a place of encounter with God. So firstly, I'm dancing for God, connecting with God, and then I'm just letting that be shown, my connection with God, so that it can invite other people into that experience of connecting with God through dance. I was able to get my dance team a slot at Boulder Creek Festival, where they have dance performance stages, and we did several dances, but I got to do one solo dance, and I was just really connecting with the Lord while I was dancing, which was fun. And afterwards, it was actually my mom who said, wow, while you were dancing, it was so obvious how free you were. You looked so free. And it reminded me of how I used to be. And it made me want that again. And it made me want to connect with the Lord again. So obviously that was really precious to me because it's my mom, like someone that I hold really dear. But I hope that that was the impact that it had on other people that were watching too, that it would invite them into that place of freedom with the Lord and show them that it's possible and make them hungry for it for themselves. It gets past people's mind and gets into their heart. So even someone who has issues theologically with Jesus or the Holy Spirit or even the existence of a God, they like entertainment. Everyone likes being entertained. So they'll be watching a dance piece and get roped in. And then at some point they notice themselves emotionally reacting, like feeling really touched and connected to it, and then Jesus can sneakily just get in there and rope their hearts that way. So that's why I love worship dance. I've seen it happen to me. That's when I noticed it. I'm like, oh, this is clever, strategic. Yeah.